Welcome to Business Success Tips, where you learn to make more money in less time and have a lot more fun. I am your host, Paul Sanneman. I'm founder of Contractor Staffing Source, and I'm going to change my camera because I think I like the Logitech better. So you get it. There it is, new camera. Uh, and so I have for my guest today, I'm going to call him Larry. It's Laurent Da Dalto. Well, how do you say your name? You can just tell the audience what your name is. I won't mess it up.
Sure, yes. Thanks, Paul, for having me today. My name is Laurent Da Dalto. It's a French name. I'm coming from France, but I'm based out in Chicago, Illinois.
Yeah, Laurent Da Dalto. Okay. And his company is Mimbus. Now, I think the short thing is Nimbus is innocuous to train employees, but that's the short form. So tell me, what you guys do, how it can work, and because things are going this direction. I'm sure if these guys have kids, most of them have an Oculus or some kind of VR they've used, right? And so unfortunately, all they do with this play games. That could be good news or bad news, but we've all watched Ready Player One. Trust me, we're already there. I have a 14-year-old. He's spending more time with his friends on the internet than he spends in real life. So it's already happened, right? So now the question, how does this apply to contractors? To me, that's exciting. So tell me how you came up with the idea, where it's worked, and how this applies to construction.
Yes, thanks, Paul. And what you said is really a good introduction for me because all comes from the idea that the new generation using new way of communication, like TikTok, like YouTube, whatever you name it. And now comes the immersive stuff like the Oculus, like the Pico. There's a lot of VR device, there's the Apple Vision, all that things. So the new generation, they use that. They used to play with that. They have that at home and all that things. And we were thinking already 20 years ago, so it's been a long time. We were thinking that this can be a perfect tool to onboard them, detect talented people, and drive them to something that would be more a passion for them. If you look at the way the academic pathway for education is done, it's mostly driven by soft skill. Like if you are clever in mathematics, in literatures, in English, and a lot of things. Nothing about hands-on things. And there's a lot of kids, my kids, some of you kids, I'm sure, that are really attracted by building things. They want to do things. And most of the new generation, they want to do things. VR enable them to do that because they are in another world practicing moving around sometimes on the floor around and let's say so
Right.
we using that advantage to detect talented people and drive them to a job.
Okay. So we're doing Ready Player One for the construction industry, right?
That's true, that's
And
exactly that.
if you haven't watched the movie, the short form of the movie is everybody gets on VR because it's cheaper than actually going someplace. So they go places, do stuff. It's all on VR, and they work to support their VR. But their whole entertainment life is based on virtual reality. And I have a 14-year-old kid, and I know he spends way more time with his friends on computers than he does in real life. They all get into games, they do stuff together. So I can see this is very appropriate for the coming generation. So what would be an example? So let's say I'm a painting company, right? And I've got a bunch of painters and I have an apprentice program and that kind of thing. Can I train my painters using VR versus putting them all out and making, because the problem is you're painting, you make a mistake, it's expensive, right? Like, oops, I painted the wrong way, right? So can you use VR to like train somebody how to paint?
Yeah, that's really the idea that motivated right from the beginning. So it goes from kids at home through schools and up to the contractors at the end, because the needs coming from the industry, from the field. And so you need, as you said, you need when you someone coming to your place and say, "Hey, I'm a perfect painter. I know how to do. I know all that things." You need to evaluate him in a way. Just by the interview, it's complicated to evaluate that. So you need to put them at work. And then there's a risk. He may damage the equipment. He may waste a lot of material and all that things. VR is really here to compensate that and to enable to go far away, because in VR, I can make you paint a car, a full car, a plane, a building, whatever. It doesn't cost anything except the time you will spend in VR. So that's really the idea. And what is essential also is that we're tracking what's happening. So any motion you're doing, any head motion, hands motion, because it's digital, it's tracked. So it's easy for us to evaluate if he's doing well, if his body motion is.
So it's sort of like scoring in a game, right? In a game, you have kills and there's everybody's used to being rated in the game. That's how they get their, endorphins, right? So everybody's playing games to win. So because they're doing it digitally, you can actually keep score on how well they do, right?
Yep, exactly. You're improving your score until you reach professional level. That is the higher score.
Right. So literally, you're using game technology to train people in the workforce for the construction industry.
Completely, yeah. And today we're moving to multiplayer version of it. So you
Right.
can have even several people working together. It's exactly like Ready Player One, or
Right.
instead of validating a level of the game, you're validating a level of skill as a worker.
So instead of racing a car, you're painting a house. Same idea, though, right?
That's true. That's true.
Okay.
Exactly.
Well, I can see this is applied now. I'm sure some people, I mean, obviously, if you have a training center, that would be good. And maybe the people listening to this cannot contact the people that are getting their people from training centers of various ways. Say, look, you need to use this technology because it's really cool. But then we have a lot of people listening to this that have companies, they're painting companies, roofing companies, that kind of thing. So can this be done on a smaller scale? I don't want to spend zillions of dollars. Can I buy something for like a couple $1,000? That's like a VR thing, and then use that to do the same thing for my apprentice painters, my apprentice roofers?
Yeah. So that's what we aiming to. So basically today you can go on the marketplace of the Oculus Quest headset. You can search for Mimbus, for instance, and you will find a set of solutions that you can download that are already free. So you can try it out. You can have construction safety. You can have chemistry manipulation. You can have on-job training. Different kind of experience. You can for free try it out. If that fit with your need, then you can apply for a fee that is around one or two thousand dollar, and then you get the full version that you can use as much as you want with as much people as you want. So it's tracked. The result is sent to you, so you have
So, and I
really
can do this on
information.
my Oculus.
It works on your Oculus, yes. It works on the Quest you have at home.
Okay, so if you have kids, you probably have an Oculus Request. I mean, and they're what, like 800, they're not cheap, they're like $500 now. They're not much, right?
Yeah, the idea is really to be efficient and to have a real return on investment. So, and we're very interested by the feedback also. As you said, Paul, we have a lot of schools that's using it today, but we would be very interested if a contractor wants to apply for it and get feedback, because really the way people are using is different from place to place, and we're really trying to improve and align with the needs all the time. So don't hesitate, if you download it, to come back to us with some feedbacks, and we'll be very interested by your ideas.
So this is sort of, how is this a fairly new company?
Oh, well, we've been created in 2011, so it's not that new,
That
but
sounds cool, but
yeah,
how soon is the AI to train contractors? Is that pretty new or has that been working for a while?
the AI in general, you mean?
Yeah, well, I mean, your programs download the system you're using to use an Oculus to train a painter. How long has that been around?
Or that a line? What did you say? Sorry.
But and the Oculus to train a painter or a roofer, how long has that software been available?
Oh, it's been a long time. Well, indeed, the all the content we have on shelf today is most of the time something that has been on shelf since 5 years, 6 years, more. Sometimes, like spray painting has been released in 2013, so 10 years, more than 10 years before. But
Well, it
it
seems to me contractors a little late and are a little behind the time in adopting the technology, but contractors are that way, right?
Yeah, I know, and it's not only contractors. It's just that the technology is so new, so innovative. Even COVID helped us a lot, because during COVID, people need to find new way to teach. So that
Right.
boosts the technology. But the technology was existing since a while. It's just difficult to change the mindset and the way
I
people
know,
are
I know.
evaluating.
I'm so old, I had the contractors, I had to convince them to use cell phones as opposed to pagers, like a long time ago, right? And I drug them through technology. I went from that, I went to using project management software, websites, email. Last, 30 years I've been doing technology. My latest thing is AI. Guys, you got to get on ChatGPT. It writes job description, come on, get there. This to me is the same kind of thing. It's like, why have a painter go mess up a building when you can have him wear VR and have him do it in your office and find out if he's any good or not, right?
Yeah.
For training. So
Yes.
to me, it's really exciting. I can see how this could really be, especially if it downloads into whatever Oculus you've got, because they're inexpensive and they can try it out. So how, if they want to try it out or get a hold of you, how do they do it, Larry?
So they go on. Most of you will have a Quest, so you will go inside your headset or on the Quest website. You just go on the website and type Mimbus in the research, and you will get all the module we have: Mimbus Discover, Mimbus Construction, Mimbus Industry, whatever. And they can download the software directly on their headset. Once they have it, they can play with few experience, and if they want to go further, they need to get in touch with us. They will receive a 4-digit code, and we can activate remotely the pool feature for them.
Okay. So, and if people happen to want to call you, are you available to talk to people about this program?
Of course, that's really something we're looking for. So don't hesitate to get in touch with us. The best way to get in touch with us, well, I guess probably you can share my personal email address, but we have also sales@mimbus.com. You can write to sales
They
at
go to the website, they can hit contact, right? Contact us, that'll work.
Exactly, that work. Yeah, that
Oh,
works.
I think this lot. So guys, and ladies, listen to this podcast. This is, this is not the future. This is now. In fact, it's been around for 10 years, but nobody's adapted. I mean, it's interesting. I was watching a movie called Transcendence. It was made in, 2014. They called it, and it was 10 years ago, and they literally identified all the issues we're having today with AI. I thought that was fascinating. So to me, this is technology has been around a while, but just people haven't adopted it because they haven't known about it or not trusted it or whatever. So to me, it's a great way to train your employees, to train your painters, just get them in VR, have them experience it without actually costing you a lot of money. You can also, I'm sure, tell people if getting better at something because you can actually judge their skill set like a game on how they go there at painting or roofing or whatever they're supposed to do, right? Cool.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. If I can add something, yeah, we have a product called Mimbus Discover that is really targeting that. So if you have someone coming in the company or you need to upskill someone or reskill someone, Mimbus Discover is a set of different world experience from different trades, different jobs, just to evaluate what is your transfer skill and like, are you skilled in space recognition, in concentration, in hands precision, whatever. We're combining that, and by using AI, you mentioned AI, by using AI combined with that, we can tell to you people, you should go that way because you're talented with this kind of skills. So you should do this kind of job where you will be more efficient than what you're doing today. So we can even use that up to reskilling.
So I'm thinking maybe, I'm sort of thinking out of the box here. Maybe as a recruiting company, because we recruit, 100, literally hundreds of people every week or month or year. So we could make this part of the skill set. So if somebody wants to recruit a painter, literally, if they have an Oculus or some kind of VR, they could download the program and find out if they have the basic talents. Because we can test a lot of things. We can test, are they smart? Are they honest? Do they have a good personality? But I can't test whether they have the motor skills to paint a house. Where you
Exactly.
can do this. That sounds exciting. That's cool. Maybe I'll figure out a way to do that. Cool. Okay. Well, thanks, Larry. I appreciate you being here. And I would definitely go to Nimbus. It's nimbus.com and go to, contact us and talk to Larry or get a download for sure.
Thanks a lot for having me today, Paul.
Thank you.